Welcome to the Oligo News. Tens of thousands of Australians joined pro-Palestinian rallies and anti-Israel protests across Australia on Sunday. Huge crowds in Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne demanded an end to the war in Gaza, and called on the Australian government to sanction Israel. The rallies come at a time of growing diplomatic tensions between Canberra and Jerusalem. Relations between Australia and Israel have sharply declined after the centre-left Labour government of Anthony Albanese announced it would recognise a Palestinian state. According to the Palestine Action Group, more than 40 protests took place nationwide. The group claimed 350,000 people attended rallies, including 50,000 in Brisbane. Police, however, estimated the Brisbane turnout at around 10,000. Police did not release official numbers for Sydney and Melbourne. In Sydney, thousands waved Palestinian flags and chanted, "Free, Free Palestine." Organizer Josh Lees told the crowds that Australians were united to demand an end to what they called genocide in Gaza and to demand that the government impose sanctions on Israel. In Brisbane, Queensland Senator Larissa Waters said Australians want peace, sanctions on Israel similar to sanctions on Russia, and an end to arms trade with Israel. She told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that she was hopeful the government would feel public pressure after such a strong turnout. In Canberra, Senator David Pocock also addressed the rally, saying Australia must do more. He said people want a government that listens and acts. The protests follow rising diplomatic tensions. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stepped up personal attacks on Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Netanyahu accused Albanese of being a weak politician who betrayed Israel and abandoned Australian Jewry. Tensions grew after Australia announced conditional recognition of a Palestinian state, following similar moves by France, Britain and Canada. The announcement came only days after tens of thousands marched across Sydney Harbour Bridge demanding peace and aid for Gaza. Relations worsened further when Australia revoked the entry visa of far-right Israeli MK Simcha Rothman. In retaliation, Israel cancelled visas of Australian diplomats assigned to the Palestinian Authority. These massive pro-Palestine protests in Australia show the growing global movement demanding peace, recognition of Palestine, and sanctions on Israel. With more voices rising from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Canberra, pressure on the Albanese government is increasing. The question now is, will Australia take stronger steps against Israel, or will ties with Jerusalem continue to collapse? For English news you can also visit our news website www.theoligo.com. Thank you for your valuable time.